We did see the Hua ranks. Let's go into the Jins. And mainly Fire Jin is the one that people were thinking about being strong. So Fire Jin multiplies also. Skill 1 is this. Okay, not that much. 4.5 on this. Okay, it's okay-ish. When you're attacked during the enemy turn, decreases the damage you can resist. Okay. Yep, and then we have more damage like that. I think on paper might be strong, but I'm not sure if that's actually strong. So let's get into game. We still have like these setup over here that we were using before. Let's get back to the rats. And let's just see if we can get anywhere where I would say it's like, yo, Fire Jin is actually doing nice, good, or is it actually performing anything? Build for him though. I'm not too sure how you would build this thing. I definitely do think it's more of a bruiser hybrid thingy. But I would say crit rate 4. Yeah, definitely would be looking at a crit rate 4. Does have continuous damage on this one, which is a lot more than Hwarang. That's actually kind of nice. That actually does help out quite a bit over there. Let's actually just give the same build as I did on the Hwarang. Why not? Just for simple reference. And this one, since you do want to build it a little bit more tanky as well. Maybe it wants a little bit more accuracy. What actually does have a bit more accuracy as well. Okay, insane build for you. And let's also add damages to you, just because we were on the add damage train earlier anyways. I might as well continue the add damage train. Also, you're an HP type. That's awkward. Do you have any HP scaling? Wait. Attack scaling, attack scaling, attack scaling. I hate when Comtois does that, man. I hella hate it when Comtois does that shit. You have a full-on HP type unit with 0 HP scaling skills. The hell is even that? Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, his whole scaling on his whole kit is kind of weird because he has low base stats. It's not bad. I was running it yesterday. Okay. Let's see. Do we have anything over here that's a little bit speedy, a little bit of HP, something like this? Yeah, then I'm not too sure if you want to go for the attack in here or just go full additionals by HP and speed and make him pretty tank, but looks like a strong set to me. Doesn't have any leader skill, but sure, who gives? Let's see what it can do on hits. Okay. Just a bit of chip damage on these. That does make sense. This one is actually, we would have to use that later on. So a bit of chip damage over there. Okay, you're definitely never going to be hitting that. The only thing that hits me is this one, actually. We hit the Jin. Does hit the Jin. Yep. How much hits do we have? Okay, does have a cooldown as well. Makes sense that it has a cooldown. It does strip things, which is kind of nice against AoEs. I actually feel like he should be on Despair then, right? Wouldn't he be good for a Despair one? Because if you put him towards Despair, he can go for an AoE hit counter into Despairing your enemy team. Which is pretty nice. Alright, let's see if Despair works on that. Yeah, let's just go and see if Despair works on that. So prepare, we go for you. We switch out your builds. Let's go for a little bit more. I know that these are fast, therefore I do go for those. You, and you over here. Yep. Okay, a little bit less accuracy. Definitely a bit less stats. Bit more speed though. Also, more crit rate. Therefore, we have less stats. But sure, I would probably go HP 4 on him. Let's do a reasonable build. Let's go HP 4 and not make him like absolutely crazy fast. Still decent fast. Let's see if that's kind of more of the build that would make sense on him, because he has the AoE hit to Despair Stun later on, if they're not on immunity, of course. Also, it would be more against like AoE hits, so the moment they AoE hit, you would actually get the chance to do your passive. Went on the wrong one. Damn it. But yeah, I see the potential with Despair stunning, slowing things, stunning things, decreasing their attack bar. Yeah, it's actually quite a CC unit from that kind of sense on. Plus a little bit of dot chance. So this skill happens, and then from there you could potentially stun. Yeah, I can see the work of that. Would I necessarily classify him as super strong? I don't think so. I don't think it becomes very strong. I think it has some potential, What like slows, attack bar absorbs, and all of that kind of stuff. But is it super strong? I don't know. I don't know. But I can see his potential of being decent. Can also see the potential that if this thing takes 3 turns, that my unit just straight up dies. Well, it makes it that you are more likely to hit this right now, which is kind of good. So, because I want to see if I can stun on a counter hit. I would assume it would be possible, but it would be nice to actually see that. Okay, not over there. We also have yep. Resist all the effects. Yeah, that's also the thing. Like, it resists all effects. That is kind of nice. Wait, would it then be good against the Gianna or so? Because if Gianna goes for an S3, he resists all the effects and starts stunning itself. Why do you hit that in the first place? Well, sure. In the end, you're still working with this pair, which is kind of rough, but... Get stunned by fucking... Get stunned by that. Okay. I can kind of see his value, but I'm not really sold on him. I'm not really sold on him. I'm not really sure. Can you use the app gallery with PayPal? Yes, you can. Activation rate's kind of bad. Yeah, and the cooldown is maybe like 2 turn on the cooldown on this, whereas a lot of other units, if they proc once, they immediately get the cooldown. Like such as a Josephine or Mi Ying or that kind of stuff. Kind of getting the vibes, but also kind of would say not that crazy. Let's try out the other Jins. You're also a 5-star, right? Yep. This is the one with Oblivion. 1.6 multipliers. Deals damage according to the difference between your attack power and the enemy. I want to see how much damage increase you got on this. You do attack break, so because of the attack break, you can actually take something out. Right? Would make sense. So let's see if that does anything, or if it's good or not, or bad. Jin over there. We definitely want to go for more of a damage setup, I would say. Should I just go for the Ian set? Yeah, I kind of want to go for the Ian set. Let's give the Ian set a try. And we would have to pray that we're not going to get one-shot by the Ashur, which will probably happen in the first 3 tries, but sure. Okay, we have that. We just want to do as much damage as possible on Wind. Because why not? And then crit damage on the S3. I want to see how much damage we're dealing on a Abellio like this. Okay, you would focus you or you, that's good. You would focus you or you as well, that's kind of fine. Do we want to armor break things? I kind of think I want to armor break things, right? Yeah, let's armor break things. Galleon, hello Galleon, we want to armor break things. Thank you very much. Okay, armor break. Not sure if I move right after this. Oh, he goes for that. Yeah, that definitely doesn't really help. Okay, we want a rotation where you don't do that skill, thank you. I could also make him a little bit faster. Just do skill 1. Okay, send control on that target. Perfect. Don't additional turn. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see how much damage we have. Attack buff, armor break, and 9k per hit. Do we start dealing more damage? No, there was 9k per hit. How many multipliers was it? 5. Yeah. Kind of there. Like what, 45k damage? But with this much damage setup, it was on a very high defense unit though. But then again, not really getting the vibe. Let's see some of the others maybe. Maybe some of the others does a little bit more. Dark One kind of gets vibes of a Itadori Dark. But then it doesn't do as much setup itself with the attack buff. But let's see how much damage we get from a Dark Jin with, let's say, the exact same set. So if we add in, whoops, we have to add in over here, and then the Dark One. Yes, sir. For the runes, we cannot swap the whole thing, but because it's on a unit that we don't own right now, which is kind of annoying. So I have to find the set by myself. I do know it's you. I do think it's this one. I do think it's this one over here. Let's actually instead go for a little bit more of a damage-ish setup on this. Where we do have a little bit more speed, so we don't have to work with the outspeeding issue scenario thingy. This, no wait, not fight, intangible over here. And then this one, the final piece, which is the one over you. Okay, we have that single target. Oh, wait, I just gave that whole set to our Galleon. Fuck! Oh, Galleon, give me the set. You don't need that shit. Wrong Galleon. Motherfuckers. Galleon. This Galleon. Wrong Galleon. Third time's the charm. Galleon. What the actual fuck? Okay. I don't have more Galleons than that. I can trust me on that one. That's... Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting interaction right there. Thank you very much, Contus. Okay, we have it set up. How the hell are you this low on attack, though? Attack feels non-existing. Okay, let's do just the crit damage more, whatever. Why is your attack that low? You. Yeah, okay, that helps out a fair bit. Still kind of low. Let's actually keep this set and we'll just speed boost his ass or something like that. And we're gonna speed boost his ass. I'll figure that out in a second. Give me a little bit of speed on my Galleon. Enough speed? Not enough speed. 6 swift sets, or swift runes. It's faster that way. Let's change you out for anything that gives me a speed boost. What's a fun speed booster of the day? Fun speed booster of the day is going to be Frigate. Why? I don't know. I felt a little bit Frigate-ish. Is that a thing? That is definitely not a thing. I don't care. Okay. Finally. Let's see what we can do. Oh, let's remove this thing over here and put this thing over there. Let's see. Wait, that thing moves in front still. Okay, let's see. How much damage output are we doing on this? Damage on this skill 3. Ew. This is my highest damage set on Swift. I want to like emphasize on that point. This is the highest damage output I have on Swift on like a 150 extra speed. Ew. Ew. Okay, but now do we do more damage? Ew. Ew. Well, every time that we do kill, we do have the excess damage coming in. Do we kill on this right now? Because we had extra damage from last time. Ew. Ew. Okay, let's see if we can actually one-shot this. But ew, what is that damage? Why do they always make units good on paper and then the moment you start testing them, they have absolute terrible multipliers? Straight to storage. Straight to storage, and if not to storage, straight to Azkaban. What the fuck is even this? This is my highest damage set. There's no damage, man. Holy hell. I think Grogan can do this kind of damage AoE. Let's actually test that. I want to test that. Can Grogan do this damage AoE? Where am I Grogan at? Well, also, if he had Crit Awakening, I was overstacking crit on that, but besides the point. Besides the point. You have some artifacts that make sense? Yep. Okay. Grogan, how much damage you do AoE? Is this your account? Yeah, it's my account. In this thing, you can test all units, everything. Okay, we don't care about the armor break because we were testing that anyways. How much damage are we doing? Grogan can legitimately do that damage nearly AoE. That's... yeah, wow. Wow, that's that kind of ass. That kind of ass. And it's near similar set. That's really bad, though. That's really bad. Okay, which of the other Jins might be more... is the light Jin any good? I did actually pull a light Jin. Decrease the damage in addition to your attack bar. Increase your... more of a cycler kind of unit as well. Multipliers are kind of mediocre as well. More of an additional damage. Light one is crazy good. Is it? Why is the light one crazy good? Wait, let's see the light one. Is it more of like an additional damage artifact? It's by hit, so... it would absorb a lot of attack bars, cycle a lot of turns, so more of an additional damager. Let's go back to the Raccoon and the Riley. Raccoon, Riley. ATP control is very good. Yeah, I can see some value in the ATP control on that. Riley, where you at? Where are you at? Right over there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we go for the light one. Then again, where would you actually use like a light 4-star except for Siege? It's also an HP type kind of unit. Wait, is the dark one HP type actually? No, I think the dark one is attack type, right? Yeah, that's attack type. It's only a support type even. Okay. That's something. He's a Lauren, but not really a Lauren, I guess. Doesn't have Ack Awakening, which makes things a little bit awkward. Ack Awakening would have been nice on a support type. But we can give him some add damagey stuff. Add damage over here. A little bit of add damage over there. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see how much pushbacks we have. Okay, fair bit of pushback, fair bit of attack bar gain on self. Yeah, yeah, and then with the... I kind of get the vibe where he goes for continuous damage and that kind of stuff. I kind of get this vibe. If it's really good, I don't know. Oh, I nearly took a full turn over there. Yeah, okay, I can kind of get his vibe. If he had net 5 base stats, I would say that he would not be bad. Especially because he's also landing a lot of dots and stuff. Like pushback, dots. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then attack bar absorb. Yeah, I can see him working. Definitely still not the craziest of units out there. That's definitely a take. But I can see him being better than most of the net 5 counterparts. Yeah, so far, yeah, I would say he's okay. He's okay. Not crazy, though. But he okay. We could also test the only one that I did not test yet is the water one, but I think the water one is pretty much non-existing, right? What does the water Jin have? Decrease damage taken by... oh yeah, he has the decreased damage taken by 23.5%. Who the hell came up with this? Like, who thought of this? I don't even know what this is, man. That's so random. So yeah, I think that the other Jins, or this Jin, is not that interesting. So that's all for the Jins.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.